What up, and welcome again to another episode of The Righteous and the Ratchet. I am your boy, Doughboy. Are you whipping it, ain't it? This is your boy, Doughboy, and my man,
KevOnStage.
say it like that every single time. We're going to bring it in, Righteous and Ratchet, just so you know what it is. Talking about being righteous, like Kevin is.
Tries to be
righteous, live godly, and be of God in all his ways in a ratchet world. And then people like me that are ratchet, trying to be righteous in this ratchet world. So that's what it is. And today we are going to be talking about a hard-hitting topic. Can you listen to secular music if you're saved?
Oh, no, down at the cross where I first saw the light, and the burdens of my soul rolled away.
And as good as that is,
it was there.
As good as that is, it doesn't make me feel the same way as Daddy saw the end of So, can you do it? Because you're a saved guy, you got kids. Can you listen to it? Because they say music affects your spirit. Can you do that?
Woo! I'm going to tell you.
Because much like sex, and that's the first thing that people stop, when people get saved, all of a sudden they turn on 2 Chainz. Like, I don't want to hear 2 Chainz. I want to hear Kim Burrell. All the time.
Here's the thing. Different levels of my life, I felt totally different about this.
Really?
Growing up, we were not allowed to listen to anything but gospel.
So if everybody was walking around like, whoop, there it is, you had no idea what they meant.
No, I knew. We weren't allowed.
Okay. But you knew it was there.
That didn't mean I didn't listen. So, but we weren't allowed. I remember one time I had a Walkman and my friend let me hold a TLC tape.
Side note, let's acknowledge how old you are. You had a what?
Tape?
You didn't even say Discman.
Oh, Walkman. I'm talking
we
about
are all veterans.
tape. And I was listening to TLC's Crazy Sexy Cool. And my dad took it and was like, what is this? And it was Red Light Special.
Did you get a whooping?
Nah, he just broke the tape. But so I remember I couldn't buy no rap albums.
Really?
Straight 100% gospel.
So this is around the time when Snoop Dogg was popping?
Never. I had the Gin Juice tape too. 1, 2, 3, and 10. I mean, you know, kids don't do everything their parents say.
Right. You gotta find a way there.
Yeah, but as far as like what my parents played in the house, never heard anything in my house. I mean, I'm not even talking about like Jackson 5, jazz.
So you had
only
Kirk Franklin,
gospel music,
and sometimes
from the Winans to the Hawkins to Kirk to John B. Key,
Shirley Caesar,
Hold My Mule, all of that. Up until actually probably now, my parents never listen to anything but or my grandma. Yeah. Now, I feel differently about music than my parents do. Now, here's how I feel. Right. I know music has an effect on you. Like Bone Crusher, Never Scared song makes you feel like you have hands. If you didn't, even if you did, like you get knocked out, but you feel like you have hands.
Schoolboy Q makes me feel like a crip in my car. I be like, I ain't tripping.
Yeah.
And like saying, I ain't cripping. I feel like that, and I be feeling
R&B music makes me want to have sex, stuff like that. But like my wife and I, like my wife more than I, because I listen mostly 90s R&B music in my car.
But
so
I see you with some clean version Kanye's.
Yeah, I like Kanye, but my wife plays a lot of pop radio in the car. You know, just whatever's on the top 4. Like LA don't really have like a strong hip hop station like that. I mean they do, but she listens to Ryan Seacrest station more. Okay. So my kids hear more an eclectic version of music.
Right.
Gospel, Jackson's, 90s R&B. They probably never hear any songs with cussing.
Really?
In them. Like, I mean, I have very few.
Would you let your kids hear like a Tupac album if it was edited?
I don't know.
He's still talking about smashing chicks. He's just they don't get to hear the word.
Well, my kids are small and young, so I probably wouldn't. But I remember when I was a kid asking my parents. You remember Just the Two of Us with Will Smith?
Just the Two of Us.
Yeah. I was asking my dad, like, why can't we listen to this?
It's a good song, father, son.
Exactly. He didn't have a clear answer. He was just like, down at the cross where I first saw the light. You're like, why? But you're not answering me. I said, down at the cross. You know what I mean? So he didn't really have a good answer for me.
Right.
And I feel like, you know, because I don't really like my music to have a whole bunch of cussing in it. Mm-hmm. But at the same time.
I do. I defer.
Yeah. My brother does too. I don't mind movies with a lot of cussing in them.
Okay.
So I'm not even really consistent in my.
You don't make no sense.
Yeah.
I won't listen to it, but I sure will watch it. Boom.
But then there's stuff like T.D. Jakes has an R&B album.
What?
Yes.
He don't even sound like he got vocals by the way he talks.
Her lover, and her Lord.
I bet he's just doing a lot of talking.
He is like, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's super like terrible.
It sounds.
It's just like some things are better left to the R. Kellys of the world. No P.
But see, that's the thing that I struggle with, because I live a ratchet lifestyle, and I do believe that the music does affect me, because I'll have moments when you're getting skis every morning, and just to kind of let you guys kind of know, in the peek between the blinders, I'll be trying to stop drinking, so I'll be like, Kev, every time I have a day of sobriety, I send him an emoji of skis. And so every day it'll be like a bunch of them, and then I'll stop and he'll be like, oh, you felt right. So with that being said, so when you're getting skis from me, I'm listening to Kim Burrell. I'm listening to Fred Hammond. I'm listening to Kirk Franklin.
Yeah.
But when you're not getting skis, 2 Chainz, Future, Drizzy Drake. Like, that's what. So I do feel like it does have an effect on your spirit. And I remember when I used to be kind of heavy into the ratchet lifestyle and, not even positive. Like, if something had to happen and we was getting ready to go fight some cats, we would turn on, like, you know what I'm saying? Tupac would be like, all right, come on, like, or before a game. So I do feel like it does have an effect on you.
It absolutely does have an effect on you. I mean, I feel like you just have to monitor how much you do of it. Like whatever, and that's with anything, with food, with movies like Game of Thrones, or even Power. Like Power has got some intense sexual scenes.
Right.
You like it really is very.
So all of these things are affecting our spirit.
Absolutely. Power, certain. Like if you just put all the sex scenes in Power back to back, it's a porn. The only thing you don't see is the meat and balls.
That is
everything else. But I seen Amari Hardwick's butt a lot, and I don't really have no good explanation for that. I'm not happy about it, but
does it make you act differently in your life? So like, what does it do to you if you watch Power? Like, are you going out trying to run drugs in a club, or is it just for that moment? And can you be removed from it when you stop watching it?
Yeah, that's a fantastic point, because when I watch Game of Thrones, I ain't gonna be like, I'm getting a sword.
right.
Like, conquer some kingdoms. And I also do, a lot of adulterous stuff happens on Power, but it doesn't really have that effect on me. A lot of times, me and my wife watch Power together. Right. It is kind of awkward to watch the sex scene. You're just like,
you'd be like, you ever hit the pause, you want to toy it around the you know what I'm talking about? Okay, nothing, we'll turn it back up. Here's the line, of course. I do feel like it makes you. It does make you act differently, but like even like if on my transition to trying to get better, and I think that's why people like me struggle, because it's just like you feel like if you're trying to be righteous, you got to be too much stuff. So I feel like, all right, so if I want to get right, I can't smash.
I'm gonna tell you, that's a good point you bring up. One of the things that makes it difficult to be a Christian is when I was coming up, you were never taught balance.
Right.
You were taught everything is wrong.
All or nothing.
So what ends up happening is, especially if you have a personality like mine and yours, like we're more alike than you think. Like I am either in or out.
Right.
I'm either losing weight or I'm like,
cake for breakfast.
Can you put the cheeseburger inside of the milkshake and then blend that? I want a cheeseburger Oreo milkshake. Give it to me. I'll give you the money. I know it can be done. There's science for it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not hit or miss. It's either kale. Or water, kale or cookies. No in between.
That's going to be one of the slogans. Kale or cookies.
Yeah.
And you're usually doing in excess of either.
Right. So if I was growing up, like, really the rapper that I like the most right now is Chance. And Chance Coloring Book album has...
He shows the balance.
He has cussing.
Right.
He talks where he was struggling with drugs. And then he has full on How Great Is Our God for 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
And I think that's what makes people gravitate towards him.
Yeah.
Because it's the balance.
Absolutely. And that's outside of the cuss words, that's an album I wouldn't like. My sons are almost at that age, right? Actually, they're at the age where they can like pick their own music out. And they were listening to Chance, I probably would be like,
But I think Chance represents the dude that would be sitting in the middle of us.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you can't. I think sometimes it's too hard to be too much Kev or too much.
And the reason I like Chance is because I feel like Chance makes gospel music for people who are not in church.
He definitely does.
Yeah.
I think he talks to the people, and that's really what this whole thing is about, because people think that Jesus was just like in the church all the time. No, Jesus was in the trap.
In the streets.
Somebody should do that. We should do that song. Jesus in the trap. I'm gonna
Jesus
make that. Christ Spirit is gonna do Jesus in the trap.
But no, I think that's important because in the vegan world, there's food called bridge food. which is if you're going from a meat diet to vegan, they have like vegan bacon cheeseburgers, and it's like considered bridge food to help you transition into vegan lifestyle. Yeah. And I feel like chants can be that type of music for people. And honestly, this is gonna sound harsh. There also, to me, isn't a whole bunch of great gospel music.
Oh no!
You know, like
I used to be a gospel rapper.
Yeah.
So and we were just trying to be.
Give them some gospel bars.
You want to get some
Give them a hot 16 for your days back.
My God. Heavenly Father, can I holler at you for a minute? I got some things that's on my chest and I just gotta spit it. Now I've been trying hard to walk away from the game, but it be hard when I hear it calling my name like every day. But I knew the rules of the game when I chose this way of life every day of my life. Man, I swear it's a fight and I get weak sometimes. I roll with my boys and I wanna drink sometimes. Kick it like old times and I ain't gonna lie, I still sin. I think about it before I do it, but I still sin. But that don't mean that I don't love you. I'm trying, God. You seen exactly how I used to be. I'm trying hard, remaining strong, but Lord, what can I do? I pray you know that my heart is true and everything I do is for you. I prove it to you. I pray to this day I never lose it with you. And everything that I do, I gotta do it for you.
So hold on.
Like
I was trying to get
okay, they get the point.
You
texted me yesterday like this is long. But I think that that's the struggle that people deal with, especially when, like, you know, if you're not like fully in church, like how I am not, you start to just remove things that you think are hindering you.
Yeah.
And music is one of them.
And I think the other thing is God has billions of children.
He does.
And to expect your walk with Christ to be my walk with Christ, because maybe if you're like in the world and you like, for you like rap music or that whatever rap music reminds you of the life you don't want to live no more. Right. So you want to go cold turkey, that's fine. Right. You know what I mean? But if I can listen to rap or whatever and still live my life pleasing to God, then that can be fine too. And some people don't. People don't like when you live your life differently.
Right. So let's ask this, and we can wrap it up on this point. If a person, so if you got to tell your righteous homie, I know you're trying to get your life together, are you going to tell them to stop listening to secular music at the very, very beginning? Just like, much like with me, like I deal with alcohol, like, are you going to tell me, don't drink at all? Or are you going to tell me, just drink on Tuesdays and Thursdays? So in that kind of parallel, are you going to tell your mans to not listen to it or to cut it out completely?
I don't think so.
Or would you just tell them to listen to Chance?
I wouldn't even tell them to listen to Chance. I don't know that I would put that on somebody. Because there's pastors, young and old, who listen to the same albums you listen to. You know what I mean? Like, it just depends on what your walk is. I would help lead them to Christ and let their own convictions.
Let them come to their own conclusions.
Let them come to their own conclusions on music. Because to me, like, I'm not, like, there's so many things to be fighting for and that are really important. Your choice in music to me is very low.
That's very low. So you would tell them, stop smashing.
Yeah, stop. Now, drinking, I would fight hard against that because that could lead to other things. It can be dangerous physically for you, whatever. But, like, your choice in music very rarely is going to have something, like a huge effect to me.
So it's not going to be like the go-to thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man, because I've been married for a long time. Like, I know R&B music make you want to smash. And you're just like, oh, I'm going to just listen to that tape one more time.
As soon as you hear, it's 10-10, you want
where you been?
Where is she at?
Did you read your Bible? You know what I mean? Like, so that I'm kind of far removed from that, but I just think because so many Christians can have an eclectic version of music and still live life, like, but then there's people who can't, and that's okay too. Right. And that's what I think people should understand. Like, the same way, like I have 2 kids, and the discipline that works for one doesn't work for the other, and the praise for one doesn't work for the other. One of my youngest son hates his birthday. So for him to have
tell him the birthday story that happened this year.
It was just like, just buy me the toy that I asked for. You don't have to take me to Benihana's because I don't want it. Don't take me to laser tag. Just do what I asked, because last year you guys took me go-kart and I didn't want to do it.
Yo, he has been here before, bro.
Why aren't you just happy?
He has been here.
And my older son is like, let's turn up. Harry Potter world. You know what I mean?
That's
like most people are. But it's just ridiculous for people to expect all God's children to
act the same.
Yeah, like for every single thing.
Right.
For some things we all got to be held accountable the same way, but for other things,
it's different. And that's my play on it too. Like living ratchetly, trying to be righteous though. I would say just to listen to Chance. Like, and I think Chance represents balance. Like, don't you still want to feel like you're living and you know what's hip and what's hot and feel good, but you also want to get something positive in you. So I would say,
if you want to go straight gospel rap and whatever. Like there are some gospel artists that I really like. You know, Travis Green has a great album. And, Lecrae, Anthony Brown, and
Kim Burrell. Oh my God,
Kim Burrell. Like, so there's a lot of good music out there, but I feel like because I went to a Beyonce concert a couple years ago, and
you said that on camera.
Church, because I'm making this point.
I think they call it.
I know I'm making the point for this, and the Saints were like, "You're going to hell."
Really?
Dead serious. That's why this whole year I made a joke about, because I went again this year, but I said I was going to Shirley Caesar concert. Like, I'm going with my wife.
Right.
So listen to me. Like, I have Beyonce's albums. I watched Lemonade.
Right.
And people were really trying to put me in straight hell. Right.
That's
then I was like, I'm going with my wife. Like, because here's an example I use. When we went on a cruise, like, you can't be out there dancing in the clubs. Like, me and my wife went on a cruise, and we went to salsa dancing class on the cruise.
You said that on camera too?
Yeah.
Salsa? Victor Cruz?
Salsa is romantic.
Rico!
But you know what I mean? So we went there, like, to me, if I go to the club and dance with my wife, what is the harm in that?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if it's whether it's salsa or at a...
Or if y'all go to a Beyonce concert. And see, that's what I think, and that's why I think you and I have such a great relationship, because you're very, like, I look at you like I aspire to do a lot of things you've done. You're a good guy. No, take the praise, Kevin. Take the praise. Take the praise. You're a good guy. You love your wife. You love your kids. You don't compromise your morals in this crazy circus that we work in. I want to be like that too, but a lot of people aren't like you. And I'll come to you a million times and tell you the craziest story.
Right.
You still dab me like, "Doe, you are wild."
Yeah.
A lot of Christians don't do that. Yeah. They want to look at you and tell you, "Nah, you can't." And I think that's what shies people away.
I think and this is gonna sound cliche, but I don't mean it to be. And we're way off the topic of music, but we're still on whatever.
Yeah, this is our podcast. We do what we want.
Yeah. My brother was away from the church for years, like just out there doing whatever he wanted. Thugging, basically. When he started coming back, we showed him love. Like he started coming, church was over at 1, he started coming 12:50 for like 2 months. Then 12:30, then 12:15, then 12, then 11:30, then 11.
Yeah.
And then you know he was tithing again. And then next you know he was going to Sunday school. And then it got to the point where he was a Sunday school superintendent. And throughout that time, he came to my house. We showed him love. Pastor invited him to his house, and we showed him love. And that love is what made him feel safe and comfortable. And he heard the messages, and then God worked on him, and that's what we allowed. When people have something that we see is different, like say they're gay, especially, we won't even show them that love or allow them the grace to come in and hear the word. And if you don't feel love, you're not gonna. If you don't feel love, you can't hear the word.
Yeah, see,
you can't hear the word. So I feel like my responsibility is to show the love of Christ, and to live my life as an example, and let the preacher preach, and let the apostle.
Let
you know what I mean?
they do, but you don't stop somebody when they first come in, because if y'all would have treated him like that, be like, "Why was you at 8 o'clock?"
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
They'd be like, "I'm cool, bro."
You know what I'm saying? That 12:50 just would have stopped at 1:12.
We just gotta allow people the grace to come to God. As they are.
As they are. And I think that's why our friendship works.
On our schedule.
Right.
We want people to get saved on our schedule.
And
the thing is, we don't even be able to hold up to our own morals.
But we so quick to tell somebody about
this. And a lot of the times, because I feel like we're mad at ourselves, so we like to, well, your sin is different.
Right.
Well, you drink, different. Boy.
But you're a liar.
You know
I don't drink.
And to God, it's all the same. It's exactly how it is. But I don't drink.
I just shot somebody, but I don't cuss.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Yeah. And that's my biggest fear. And some people are like, "You just lax, kid. You just do whatever you want." Like, man, I just been there.
Right, exactly.
I just have been there, and my sins were ones that when I had the summer of '99, when I was out there with those random women,
3 glorious months.
When I was out there, nobody knew my
kept it in the closet, right.
So everybody treated me the same. If they had and tried to treat me, then I probably would have just been like, "I'm gonna go out there all the way."
That's so crazy. So I think that there's something in there. So to put a bow on it, man, I think people trying to live, if you're coming from the righteous point of view, man, just listen to Chance. And what we might ask, get some balance. And if you're heavy in the word, listen to Chance, because that represents some balance. All right, man, we out of here, man. It's been another episode of Righteous Rats. I've been your boy, Dope Boy.
KevOnStage.
You don't have to sing the outro, sir. All right, cool. Let's go.